Apple Gift Card is a practical gift that unlocks a world of entertainment and fun. You can send it via email or give a physical card to your loved ones. Your friends and family can spend it on their favorite Apple services, including Apple subscriptions. Apple Gift Card can be used to buy all things Apple. Products, accessories, apps, games, movies, TV shows, iCloud Plus, and more. Visit apple.com for details and to send Apple Gift Cards to your friends and family this holiday season.
Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, and welcome to another edition of relationship advice. Yeah, I want to surprise you guys. I want to surprise you guys with this documentary that I'm working on. I feel like that is something to also like kind of just understand me as a person and kind of just understand who I am. Yeah, I'm coming out with a documentary about myself. Like it's all going to be like me and things. Like I might get some friends like in on it and stuff. But yeah. See where this goes. So, anyways, starting with the first relationship advice story. So, this is an update one. I ain't gonna do an update one, but let me just read the title real quick. So you said, I update, my wife said something strange about her ex, and it's really getting to me. So I'm reading it. So wait, he said, I can think like a short version of it. My wife occasionally talks about her ex as though she misses him. And then the other night, she said he was the only guy she ever knew with beautiful feet. Yeah, weird, but also hurtful towards me and my nasty feet. I'm not going to read that whole story because it's like a lot to read. I just want to read one. But, yeah, that's kind of weird that she's saying some stuff like that to you. I honestly will bring that up. Like, do you want to be with him or me? Because that's something that I don't really care for. I could care, like, less. I don't even care at all about this man's feet. Like that's something that you don't really tell your significant other. Like, oh yeah, I miss my ex and his beautiful feet. Like, who says that? Who says some stuff like that? Like, lady, I had to say something about that. I'm like, that's not normal. I feel like that there's like boundaries that you should not cross when you get into another relationship. If you're going to talk about the ex, I feel like the only time you guys should say something good about your ex is if they're a good person, Because I know I'm a good person, but if they're saying like, oh yeah, they were a great person and on bad terms, cool, that's all that I need to hear. But when beautiful feet gets put in place, that's why I'm like, that's kind of a weird thing to say, like, I don't know why I even need to know that. So yeah, I definitely would have been like, yeah, that's something I don't need to know. Like I don't need to know how beautiful the man's feet was. Like I don't really care about that. So this one looks kind of weird. My wife has threatened me regarding my sexual history. Please help. Wait, what? It like the title just looked interesting because I'm like, let's see about this. Let's see how long it is. Oh, it ain't that long. But anyway, short history. My wife is 10 years younger than me. I met her in Cambodia and we got married. We have a couple of gorgeous kids and have lived in the UK for more than 3 years. Having children has definitely put a strain on us. We were happy and carefree prior to that. And the last couple of years have been tough. She is settled here but does not feel isolated sometimes and has admitted taking it out on me. She has hit me a few times, and when angry, she says very, very hurtful things that aren't true to try to break me. She then apologizes after the storm has calmed. So wait a minute. So she's mad at where she's at. So the only way to get that anger out, she takes it out on you. I'm like, woman, you haven't heard of a gym? It's called punching bags and freaking working out. Like, I don't need any anger, like unnecessary anger, like put towards me and things. So that's why I'm like, yeah, Yeah, I don't know. Like that's when you gotta like check a person and be all like, yeah, that's not gonna slide. So like I will file for a divorce if this is gonna be a recurring thing. I'm that type of person. I'm like, nah, that ain't gonna happen to me. Or we're just going to get in a roast battle. She says some hurtful stuff about me, and I'm just gonna say some hurtful stuff about her. I'm like, that's who overall who I am. Like if she, because I don't know, not too many things. I have to say like a good majority of things don't really hurt me and stuff. Like I'm like I don't know. I'd say I reached a point in my life, and I've reached this point in my life a long time ago where if somebody says something about me, I'm just gonna say something about them. So that's something I'm like, yeah. So she, I don't know. For an example, she's just so like, you're the shortest man I've ever been with. And I'm like, well, at least I'm taller than you. Like, you're the tallest midget I've ever seen in my life. Like, I'll say some hurtful stuff. Like, I'm like, okay, well, your legs are uneven. Like, when we lay down at night, I can see one leg going further out than the other one. Like, I'll say some stuff. Like, you have no neck. So, like, you want to play this game with me? Like, I'm telling you, it's going to be a Floyd Mayweather situation. It's just going to be an automatic win for me. So, anyways, yeah, I have people, they'll. I'll say some things, but anyways, and it's funny, they're like, anyway, so he goes on to say, it's Mother's Day weekend, we were watching a funny film, and sharing a glass of what? Things going well, we get to the end of the film, which has sexual theme to it, and asked me to explain in detail my sexual history before her. Please note, previous sexual partners in Cambodia is considered wrong, and you should be pure for your husband and husband/wife. I had explained this to her in Cambodia before we got married, as I knew she was upset that I had slept with other people before her, but it was only two, which in Western society isn't really a massive number, and they were both long-term girlfriends. I said I didn't want to talk about it again because it would make everyone unhappy. I didn't want to think about it or talk about it as I was a very long time ago. What? I was with her now and have a brilliant family, and she wouldn't want to hear it anyway. She'd get upset, but she persisted. What is these words, bro? Like, anyway, she persisted and accused me of hiding information from her again and again until I just said, okay, ask me whatever you want, up to you. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's just in this day and age where it's like a lot of like that old time stuff. Like, you gotta go by these rules, you gotta do this. It don't really like it doesn't, I had to say it's not really going on anymore. Like, so it's like, I had to say, like, she brought that question up, like, all right, like, I don't really want to tell you because I know you're going to get mad, but all right, yeah, sure. I had two previous girlfriends before you. And, yeah, just leave it at that. Like, I'm sorry, like, that, you didn't want to hear that, but I'm like, that's the thing. I'm not with them anymore. I'm with you. I'm married to you. We have a family. I feel like that should be the only thing that should matter at that point in time. It shouldn't be something where it's like, we're thinking of the past and then that's going to, like, like put it like a whole like stress thing in the relationship. So yeah, I've been all like, I told her and things, but I also would explain to her, it's like, I'm not with them anymore. I'm with you. We have a family and that's all that matters. So they wanted to, like, them two girls want to spend their lives being jealous about my, successful family life right now, then they can be. But I'm like, I'm overall happy with where I'm at and things. And I'm not thinking about them. So anyways, he goes on to say, so I told her again I had two girlfriends before. She asked me how was it? Where did we have sex? How many times? What does it even matter, like, where? That'd be weird. I'm like, that mean unless it's like in the house like that you guys are currently at, but I don't know. Then she says how many times, etc. I explain honestly, my first time was terrible. Between the two girlfriends we had sex over 100 times in the course of a couple of years. Tears filled her eyes, and she turned to me and said, "You are dirty and disgusting. If I find out that you old girlfriends have a baby from you, then I would inappropriate and serious threat." Wow. That's how he left it. He said inappropriate and serious threat. that's when you know something. Like, that's when you kind of like curious, like, dang, what did she say? But I think it's like he had to bleep out his own story and stuff. So you took my pure body and made it disgusting, and now I'm dirty inside. You told me before my English wasn't good. If I knew this before we got married, I would have said no. Then she said, no, you're dirty. Wow. That's crazy. That's some jealousy stuff going on right there. I'm like, I don't know what to really say about that, but I'm like, I would hope that, you know, she comes to the realization it's like it doesn't matter since that was a long time ago, and you know we've moved on. I guess yeah, it would matter if like a kid was brought into play, but if there's no kid, then there shouldn't be. Honestly, I feel like at that point, like now that she's gotten all upset, then most likely the other person would be upset, the boyfriend, and I probably like out of anger would have called up both those girls and asked, is there any kids that I need to know about? I'm like, no, okay, cool. I'm like, there's no kids. Like that's the type of stuff. I'm like, man, I don't know. I hope that in like any future relationship I get into, like that's something that's not going to be asked. It might be, but I'm like, look, it does not matter. I hope it doesn't matter and stuff. So, anyways, yeah, that's something. I'm like, man, you gotta chill. Like it ain't that serious. But I left the room angry and confused and went to sleep on the sofa. I turned on my phone this morning. She sent the message saying, "You destroyed my pure body." I'm like, you are being a little bit too dramatic about this. The fact that I had to wake up to it and stuff, like, you would go to sleep to wake up to, like, you know, it's a new day, start fresh, you're happy and things. But to wake up to that, I'm like, yeah, that's, it's not good. So it goes on to say, I am so confused. We did talk about this extensively before we got married, as it was a deal breaker and she was unhappy I wasn't a virgin, but accepted it. We then went to have a family, start a new life. We love each other, and why this has turned into such a serious problem tonight. So it's confusing and hurtful. Any help appreciated. My mind is spinning. I would definitely explain to her that it's not that serious. I don't know. I guess like it depends on where you come from in life, because I know there's a bunch of different people that I've talked with, and they've explained to me like, you know, how their religion works, how their family works, how, you know, certain things just work in their household. But it gets to a point in time where it's like, you know, you're an adult, like you're exploring the world. You can't really help it if you end up getting a girlfriend and then something happens between the two that it's like your future wife ain't gonna have like no control over. It's like we had these years where, and then plus on top of that, if you're like 10 years older than her and stuff, then it's like you already had like 10 years of experience, I guess, like prior before meeting her and things. I don't know. But anyways, like I hope that would make sense. But yeah, I'm like, it's like you guys, like, I don't know, like if it does, I don't know, I don't want to say that and things, but it's yeah, I'm like, it's something where I'm like, it's working between us, like we're married, we have a family. I figured that that's a lot better than the past two previous relationships that I was in. It got to the point where I got down on one knee and asked your hand in marriage. So I'm like, I feel like something like that shouldn't even matter. Like we're together, that's all that matters. So any past previous relationships, I guess like if that particular person is going out of their way and messaging you saying, oh yeah, our relationship was so good, then it would be a problem. Then I'd be like, oh okay, well then I have to put a stop to that and tell that like old ex-girlfriend, I'm like, yo, that's not gonna slide. Like you can't message my current wife and be telling her these things. But that's not the case. The case is she brought this up. So I'm like, however you feel, I'm like, you shouldn't be feeling like that. You know, it's like we're married. That's all that's like really in the picture right now. But yeah, I explained that to her and things. You know, it's like you probably did already, but I feel like she needs to like accept that, like, you know, accept the fact that it's old, like, you know, and things and so on. So I'm gonna write that. I need to start writing these things down in the comments and stuff. So let me go ahead. Okay, wait a second. You need to explain to her that your old ex-girlfriends are old ex-girlfriends. They are, well, I wouldn't necessarily say they are nothing now, but they are, you know what, no, I'm going to say it, but hold on, let me, because I'm good with this writing stuff. They are nothing now. that we are married. What? No, not now that you. All right, so yeah, that was like okay, not that me and that meant like man. That's okay. Now I had to backspace. They are nothing now that you guys are married. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna go ahead and comment that. Somebody was all like, she's like verbally abusing you. You don't deserve that. That's true. I'm like, the verbal abuse. I feel like that's another thing. The verbal abuse, that has to stop. Like, you can't be doing that to me because it's something that you brought up and stuff. So, this next one. Friend placed my boyfriend's hand on her chest, then dismissed our complaint saying we were transphobic. Wait, what? So, wait a second. All right, let me just read this. So, she goes on to say, my boyfriend and I have a friend. So he all right. So I think she meant to say let's call her, but she's like let's all her a. So she's transitioning. She got breast implants and showed off the work to my boyfriend. Oh, so it was previous. She was previously, yeah, she was previously a man, but now she's transitioning into a woman. But that's I don't know. To like I guess like to have like a jacket like zipped up or something and then you have like a shirt or a bra underneath, or not even that, like have a shirt underneath but then you show like you gotten the surgery and things. I feel like that's something where I'm like okay, like that's as far as it should go, like to show but not to actually like unveil, like you know, take the shirt off, the bra and everything, and I'm actually seeing like your breast implants. But I'm like no, just like you know, unzip the jacket and things or unfold your arms and stuff and then show. But I'm like that's I guess now I can see like she placed the okay, yeah, that's kind of weird. So anyway, she got breast implants and showed off the work to my boyfriend. I know it's a really emotional thing for a person to go through, so I didn't say anything as they're friends and she probably wanted some positive information. What I don't like is that months after when I was there, she was talking about her breast with our friends and proceeded to take his hand and place it on her so he'd feel. He retracted his hand and said no need. He retracted his hand and A said no need to be transphobic, dear. That's okay. Now I understand. So the man didn't want to be disrespectful to his girlfriend, so that makes him transphobic. I don't understand that. I'm like, no, I won't even touch my like act like my friend. Like if even look, girl, guy, if they place my hand to touch their chest, I'm like, no, unless I scared them or they got scared and they're all like feel my heart beating, then I would like feel their heart and stuff. But to like grab my hand and try to like place it, I'm like no, like don't grab my, if I feel comfortable doing it then I will do it on my own time. But no, I'm not going to. Yeah, that's not being transphobic, that's just called being respectful. Like that's, yeah, that friend, I'm like nah, that's not gonna slide here. I'm like, you're not gonna call me transphobic because I don't want to touch your breast. Like you could have been like just a like I don't know, I won't want to be like disrespectful to like the like community and stuff. Like but anyways, like I don't even know like a name like to like call them, like but I just like I don't want to be disrespectful to like the community where like trans people like come from and stuff. But I'm like I'm just not gonna do it. Like that's something I'm like that's not just gonna happen and things. But I'm not being disrespectful and stuff, so don't say that I am being transphobic or anything. That's not the case. I just don't want to touch your breast and things. So like that's, I will hope that you can respect that and things. But anyways, now if only a girl in the world for any reason got my boyfriend's hand and placed it on her chest, I'd be livid. I tried to bring it up to her, but again she dismissed it saying I was being transphobic. No, you are not being transphobic. See, a friend like that I would not want to be friends with. I'm like, if a friend of mine did some stuff like that and I'm like no, I don't want to like touch your, you know, your new breast and things, and then they're calling me transphobic. I'm like, all right, well, I see where this friendship's going. Every time when I say I don't want to do something, you're gonna call me saying that I'm transphobic. It's not that I'm transphobic. The gender community, like whatever they want to do, that's on them. Am I gonna accept it? Yes, I am gonna accept it, because it's like, the thing is that I don't even want any power. Like, to say that I don't have any power over what they do. I don't want the power of what they can do and what they can't do. I can care less what they are doing. So therefore, I'm like, yeah, I'm not being transphobic. I can befriend any like transgender person out there, but when they start like pushing onto me, or when they want me to do certain things that I don't feel comfortable doing, or that I'm like, the thing is, it's like, if you were to ask me, would I ever date a transgender person? No, I wouldn't. But that is who I am. Just like how they made that choice of wanting to be a transgender, you made a choice in your life that most likely went up against what a lot of people believed in. I feel like that I can make choices in my life that a lot of people are not going to agree with, but as long as I agree with it, as long as I feel comfortable with it, and it's something I'm not going to regret in the near future, it should be no problem. It's not me being transphobic. There's just, like I said, I would be friends with anybody in the like transgender community and stuff. But for them to be making moves on me and all that other stuff, I'm gonna have to say something about it. All right. So, anyways, both my boyfriend and I are really uncomfortable with her behavior. We love hanging out with her, and she's fun and lively. So I like not lively. I was like, what? But anyway, so we like to keep seeing her, but the way she's acting is making us extremely uncomfortable, especially my BF, as she's also really flirty with him. She's flirty with everybody though. He doesn't enjoy it and told her to stop multiple times, and she always brushes his complaints off. How can we talk to her? Well, yeah, I'm like, unless she wants some freaking sexual assault charges and things, or sexual harassment charges, I'm like, that's not me being transphobic. I'm just uncomfortable. So I would definitely, yeah, that's, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't want to like raise my voice and things, but I feel like that's like the only thing that you really can do with a person like that. Like, you have to like get angry with them and let them know, like, hey, stop. I'm not being transphobic. I'm just not comfortable with how you're acting around us and stuff. So I definitely, yeah, like, you're gonna have to put this person in check. I'm gonna have to, yeah, I'm gonna write that down. You are not being transphobic. I think that's how you say it. That's how you spell it. They got like the red line underneath, so, but it's like, oh, because it needs to be like spaced apart and things. No, I ain't spacing that part, but you're not transphobic. I would put her in, well, no, that's because then I'm gonna sound like a pimp when I say that and things. I'm not a pimp, so I'm like, I can't say, I'm like, oh, I'll put her in check, but no. I would get mad. Well, it's like, you're gonna have to like build up that anger and things, or it's just like the next time it happens, you have to check her and let her know that's not cool, and you need to stop because we are uncomfortable. Okay, it's like, it's not cool that I tell, okay, yeah, and then say don't call us being transphobic when we just don't roll like that. That's how I talk. But anyways, comments, hopefully, okay, yeah, Reddit lets me comment, because it's like, there's times where it's like, when you comment a lot on Reddit, then you have to like wait a certain amount of time and things. So yeah, it's kind of weird how that's set up. But anyways, oh, there's like a couple of crazy ones here. One's by boyfriend's disgusting, and then the other one's titled should I tell the other girl? But dang, I don't know which one I should read. because I want to know why the boyfriend's disgusting. I'm going to read this. Going to probably be my last two. Oh, this one's not even, my boyfriend's disgusting. It ain't even that long. So, anyways, she goes on to say, I'm posting this for two reasons. One, I want to show my boyfriend that I'm not high maintenance and he's truly disgusting. Two, advice. Now, let me get into it. We've been quarantined for days and I'm sick of his mess. I can't deal with it. Socks and underwear everywhere, hair on the bathroom floor and sink. He literally pooped on the toilet seat yesterday and didn't clean it, and had the audacity to say it wasn't him. Wow. So he had relationships with himself in the shower and left his evidence on the shower wall. Wow. Like, that is wow. See, here's the thing. I would have to say that there's at times when, like, you know, hair, like, it does like fall off and things and it gets like on counters. Like, I will clean that up. Like, I'll get like a paper towel, clean it up and things. But I don't know, like, that's somewhere I'm like, if they can't help it, like if they got like a hair loss issue and things, I'm like, I can't get mad at them for that. I would tell them, like, you know, like, okay, like, you got a whole wig like building up here on the countertop, like, can you take this wig and either put it on or throw it away? Like, can you do something about that? But yeah, I don't know, like that, I don't know, maybe that's just like a guy thing, but girls be doing it too. Like, I don't know how many times, like, it's them been somewhere and then all of a sudden seen like long strands of hair and stuff. Like, I mean, yeah, it's like, clean up your mess at least. But the pooping on the toilet, oh yeah, if y'all are the only two that's in there and then he's like, that ain't me and stuff, like, nah, bro. Like, they don't work like that. You can't, this ain't like this some public bathroom where a bunch of people are coming through here. This was you. So it's like, you can't say that it wasn't. Like, that's not normal, bro. Like, you guys sit there and like use that bathroom and things, and then he's doing stuff like that. That's, yeah, I'm like, you gonna clean that, because that's not normal. And then the having relationships in the shower and stuff, like, I would imagine everybody knows what I mean by that. But let's just say he was placing his privates in his hand and he was doing stuff with his, you know, with his stuff and things. Like, I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna say something and then, like, if I say something, then they're gonna count this as being explicit. Like, I'm not trying to be explicit, but I'm just saying, like, for the kid audiences out there, the grown man was having relationships with this self. All right, so look it up if you want to. But anyways, yeah, I definitely, that's somewhere it's like, come on, bro, really? Like, you couldn't have cleaned that, or like not aim for the wall and stuff. Like, why aim for the wall? Like, it ain't even over yet. So she goes on to say, I'm seriously so unattracted to him and I don't know where to do. Do I make a checklist for him so he doesn't forget? What am I supposed to do? I've started using the guest bathroom and I'm at ease knowing it's clean and any mess is my own. Yeah, I definitely would like talk to him about that. Like, yo, you gonna have to start cleaning up after yourself. I feel like that's just like a thing though. Like, you should clean up after yourself. But yeah, that's wow. It's like, man, like, you shouldn't have to tell a person, but it's like, you living like that, like, you doing things like that. I don't know. Like, if you were to ask me, yeah, definitely all that other stuff, it would, like, if I was you, it would make me upset. But it's like, if the dude got like a hair loss problem, I'm like, I don't know. If it's really bothering you, then yeah, confront him about that too. But I don't know. Hair ain't really like nasty to me and stuff. Like, but it's like, I don't know. Everybody is different, but me at least, that's somewhere I'm like, it's not like as bad and stuff. Like, you guys sit down and think about it. Like, men, we go to barbershops, so we're surrounded by other people's hair. We walk on it. There's times when they like flip the the cover things that cover you. You're walking through that, like, it's other people's hair is going to be like on you or around you, or you're gonna be sitting on it. There's been times I'm like, I went to I did. When was that? When did that happen? I remember there was a time I went to the barber shop and there was like hair all in the seat. Like that's just like that's man. We get used to it after a while. So the hair thing, I don't know. It's dang. He ain't gonna probably really trip that much about that. But the other stuff, yeah, I definitely would be all like that ain't cool. Like I ain't trying to like brush up against that and things. And like that's on me and stuff. Like that's kind of nasty and things. So yeah. I don't know. I feel like that she should just know automatically to confront him about that. If it's really bothering her, I wouldn't even have went to Reddit with something like that. If I was her, I definitely would have just confronted them. Like if it would have ended the relationship, then that's when I probably would have went on to Reddit and be like, "Yo, was I wrong?" But anyways, now this other one. Should I tell the other girls? So she goes on to say, so basically, I just found out a guy I'd been sleeping with for a year now actually had a long-term girlfriend the whole time. He lied to me and told me they had broken up. I happened to come across her social media and saw they were actually together the whole time. Dang, that's crazy. That's something that I fear for. Like that's why I want to make sure that any girl that I am talking to, she's not in any relationship. Like if she is in a relationship, I'm like, well, I don't want to be that person to intrude and stuff or get involved in things. So yeah, it's that's somewhere it's you should just know off the back you don't get involved in a person's relationship. Or if they're yeah, in a situation where you didn't even know, I'm yo, this can't continue on anymore. And plus I'm and then also I'm I don't want it to be where you do this same exact thing to me and stuff. You just like to sleep around and things. So yeah, I'm that ain't gonna slide. I don't know, you don't want to be a person where you're oh, I'm not a snitch, but at the same time, I'm really? You had to put me in some situation like that? I don't know. I would be that person. I'm this has to end. But dang, then it's for the guy to get hurt and stuff. That's, it's I don't know. My thing is I'm just too much of a nice person, and then I'm I don't want to hurt people, or then that's another thing where I'm I don't want. I would definitely tell her you have to end the relationship with dude. You have to. You can't be in a relationship. You have to end that relationship. You don't have to tell him that you're sleeping around with people, but you can say yo, I don't want to be involved in this, because I don't want it to be some situation where it's I remember there's this story where a porn star, yeah, she was dating this UFC or MMA fighter, and he caught her sleeping with another guy. But I mean, I don't know, if she retired and was sleeping around with other guys, still though, there ain't no excuse for what he did. But bro beat her down badly. I mean, he broke, fractured, did a lot of things to her body. And yeah, I think now he's spending life in prison and stuff, because I'm you pretty much I mean, I don't know, you might as well have murdered her and stuff. You did some bodily harm to that girl and stuff, and it's you should have known if this, if she was still in the business and things. I don't know, sometimes they're those porn stars, they'll leave the business, find a relationship, get married, all that stuff, and then they just leave that business alone. But if she was still actively in this business, I'm that just doesn't even make any sense. It's gonna be posted later on that week and stuff. I don't understand. But yeah, I'm I wouldn't want a situation to be like that and things, because then I'm then that's when I'm gonna have to step in and do something about it and stuff. And I don't want that to happen. So I definitely will tell her, I'm yeah, you're gonna have to end that relationship, because it's I don't know, I can't be with you because you out here doing stuff like that, and I don't want you to do that with me and things. So that's just, man, that's just so messed up. So anyways, should I tell her I feel really awful, shocked, and confused right now? Really need someone to give me some objective advice. Part of me doesn't want to get involved, but part of me feels like this poor woman deserves better. Yes. No, yes, she does. That's not cool and things. I feel yeah, even with a woman, it's I don't know. With a man or a woman, especially if they love the other person that's cheating on them and things, yeah, they don't deserve that. But I feel with a woman, it might be a little bit harder on them and things, because they live in life. They think they having a good life, and then something like that happens. So she said, edit. Ooh, it looked like it got crazy. So anyways, edit. I went to him first as a spur of the moment thing. He said he wants to call me later. Should I hear him out or should I just tell her? I would probably listen to what he has to say, but then if it's like if you ain't gonna end the relationship or tell her and things, then yeah, you should like I'm going to and stuff. So edit 2, I told her, she hasn't replied yet though. Still feeling awful, just like stirring up things, but this guy fully lied to me, also treated me like a girlfriend. Our friends thought we were dating too, feeling so shaken up. Also, thank you for everyone's advice. Edit 3, sorry if I'm doing this wrong, but just want to thank everyone for their advice. I'm a total noob on here, but am so glad to have joined. I'm really feeling a lot better now when I first posted this. Thanks again, guys. Edit 4, I think this will be my final update. It's been about 7 hours since I messaged her, but she hasn't replied. My friend did some stalking and noticed she's changed his profile pic to him with her. Oh, wow. Interesting. I'm feeling a bit too sick about this all to really want to deal with it anymore, but thanks for the last time, everyone. Dang, how you just gonna leave us like that? You know, like, I mean, give us an edit 5, so I'm saving it just in case there is an edit 5 or anything else, because I'm like, I need to know, like, what happens when, you know, she replies back. Maybe he called her and told her everything, and then that's why she didn't reply, but find out in the next episode of freaking Relationship Advice Z being narrated by TMossBoss. But yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. She got advice from people, so she's feeling better. That's good. I want to probably read. Whoa. This next one's pretty serious. I don't know if I should read a serious one. I don't know. Like, I'll read the ones, like, about cheating and all that stuff, but I don't want to read, like, the serious ones that you can definitely get arrested for. Like, this story, it's like, sounds like you could get arrested for that type of stuff, but I don't know. Let's read this next one. I bleached my brother-in-law's hair. Now my mother and father-in-law are really mad at me. I don't know. That don't really seem like something that, like, that's something where I'm like, they ain't gonna be mad at you forever and stuff. So that's something that you don't have to really worry about. I recently it's like friends of mine's messaging me and things, but anyways, I'm probably gonna read this because it's it's a friend I hadn't even talked to in years. So see how they. Well, I mean, I have to. Not even years. Like, I talked to them, I think, like last year or something. I'm like making it seem like I hadn't seen them in years. But anyways, I recently found out my dad died years ago. My mother never told me. Wow, that's pretty messed up. Yeah, it's something that I feel like you should tell a person and things. Like, that's not something you should just hide. But anyways, update. Boyfriend said extremely racially charged things during sex. Don't know how to react. Yep, I'm reading this one. So, it's one of those things where it got the original post. Oh, I love a good racism story. So, boyfriend said extremely racially charged things during sex. Don't know how to react. Context. 1.5 years together, 25 Caucasian female, 25 Caucasian female with 25 Indian male. No previous issues, healthy relationship and sex life. We both live with roommates in a small apartment, so most of the time we have to be quiet during sex, and our roommates know what we're doing, which is obviously uncomfortable. He lives in a loft-style apartment where noise travels through the whole apartment, and I live with 3 roommates, so sometimes we get a hotel for a day or two on the weekends to have some space and be a little bit more free. See, something like that, I'm like, that would be uncomfortable. Like, to be that couple and then to be the roommates. Like, I don't know. If I had been the roommate, because that's the thing. I'm a respectful person. So something like that, I definitely would have been like, all right, well, I'm leaving and I'm probably just going to go for a walk. And probably, I don't know. I feel like at that point in time, it's like, you need to find something to do. I can't be in no household like that and stuff. So, but I, like, just not at the time. Like, I respect the relationship, but I'm like, I can't do that and things. So we did that this weekend, and he asked me if there was anything new that I wanted to try. He's never been into even as much as light choking because it makes him nervous. But I told him he could try being a little bit more physical, aggressive, rough. Yeah, I'm not with the choking stuff. That's something where I'm like, yeah, if the future relationship that I get into and she asked me to do some stuff like that, I'm like, I don't know. Like, you can maybe to yourself, but I don't necessarily want to do that to you because that's something where I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. That's something I'm like, I don't really feel comfortable doing that because it's like, I don't know. What if she tries using that against me and things? I don't know. Then, or if I like, what if I like, then it's like, what if I do it too hard? Then there's like a mark around her neck. And I'm like, then I'm feeling all scared and sad and stuff. And I'm like, man, I'm like, I almost hurt this girl. Like, I'm like, there need to be some safe words or something where like give me the tap like on the arm and things if it's a little bit too much, like, but yeah, just give me the tap on the arm and stuff. So anyways, somehow he took this as also being vocally abusive in a very racially charged way. I told him to be rough, so the physical part was totally consensual, but what he was saying was completely out of character for him. Basically, he was saying he owed his oh my god. Oh wow. So he said basically I'm gonna say this in the clean version. Basically, he was saying he owned his little white female dog and how he wanted to breed with me to eliminate the white race and all of these really aggressive, racially charged things. It was all focused on race completely and in an almost hateful way while he was being really physically rough. I just let him keep going for a few minutes, but I never heard him talk like that, even like that ever. So I broke down crying because it almost didn't seem like my boyfriend. I was just kind of like, where did that come from? Yeah, that's something where I shouldn't be laughing because I'm like, you did say you cried and stuff. So that's like, I don't know. I definitely would be like, yeah, so, because I'm black. So I'm like, if I were to date like a girl outside of my race and she was like, that's something where it's like, I'm like, I definitely would check her. I'm like, that's not going to slide. Like, I wouldn't like get sad or cry or angry over it because like racism doesn't really, see, here's the thing. I don't love racism, but like something that is racist that is funny, I will laugh about it and stuff. Like that's like, to me, like racism doesn't get to me overall. So something like that where, we're having an intimate moment and then she starts saying some racist stuff, I would probably get up laughing and I'm like, I can't even continue on anymore because you didn't put me like in a different mood. Like I just laugh. I'm like, I don't know, like she gets all offended by it. I'm like, well, you the one that just started like saying some old racist stuff. And I mean, like with a black person, you can say a lot of racist things. So I'm like, you had to like go on Urban Dictionary or like ask some people around. Like that's something I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have to work on that. Like that's something I'm like, oh no, it ain't gonna upset me, but it's just gonna be like, you're gonna have to work on that. Like that's somewhere I'm like, you didn't know what to do. Like I can't be mad at you for that. Like, I did bring this up to you and things, and so yeah, I definitely be like, that's I don't know about that one. So we're gonna have to do something else. All right. So anyways, like, and I know people are like, if you ask me, like, am I gonna give her like a strike on that one? Because I know people they'll probably ask like does the baseball terms come into play? I don't know. I'll probably give her a ball on that one. I'm like, good, like, just like, take that ball, take a few more, then you could just go to the next base and things. But I don't know, if she starts like wearing like freaking like KKK outfits and having crosses burning out on our like front yard and stuff, then that's when she's gonna probably just automatically get a couple of strikes. I'm like, okay, that's not gonna slide. Like I'm not with that. Or it starts like whipping me and things. I'm like, nope, not with that either. So any freaking, you want to perform some Django Unchained type activities in bed, I'm like, nah, that's not going to slide with me. So anyways, where did basically he, oh, okay, so the next one, he stopped immediately and consulted me. He even held me and apologized a million times and said he felt horrible about it. Well, why would you do it? Like, that's something where I'm like, I don't even know. Like, he definitely, he had it, like, placed in his mind, like, oh, she's probably going to be into this and there ain't going to be no problem. But, like, no. Like, that's something where you should have asked about it. Like, you should have asked about it first. Like, y'all was having a conversation. Like, you could, like, you just had that conversation and then, like, you thought about it, but you didn't even, like, wasn't even going to tell her. Like, you guys, see, here's the thing. Talking with baseball terms again, you got to tell teammates your game plan. You can't just go out there and do whatever and things, because then they're going to be looking at you like you're crazy. Like, what is he doing? Like, what is he, this is what we didn't discuss. And so, yeah, then they're going to be like, they're going to feel a certain way towards you and stuff. So, if you're going to be doing some stuff that is going to require other people, you got to tell them. Like, you don't, like, that's, it's like, and then to, like, also, like, yeah, it's just, you gotta tell people when you plan on doing something. So, he still won't stop apologizing and say he didn't know it would bother me and it was just role playing. But I guess it bothers me that his fantasies are so racially charged and aggressive. Race has really even come up in our relationship. I didn't think he thought about it so much. Yeah, it's like, I guess, like, if race doesn't really come up that much in a relationship, then it's something where it's like, you know, you wouldn't really expect. Like, me, that's the thing. Like, race has always, like, taken effect in my life, whether it was, like, friends of mine or, like, random people. Like, I, like, just to, like, I don't know, to get off subject, I had to say, like, I don't know. I've experienced, actually, you know what? No, I've experienced a lot of racism, especially on the internet and stuff. I had to say the first time I really did encounter something racist in my life was this old woman calling me the N-word. Like, I've already, like, had knew about, like, racism probably before that, because when I was a kid I was really into, like, Martin Luther King, so I learned a lot about, like, the 50s and 60s and all that during that era where, like, racism was, like, really crazy and things. And, yeah, that was, like, I remember the first time I experienced it, but I didn't have, like, no, like, feelings towards it. I guess when you learn about that stuff young, it doesn't really affect you when you get older. And I have to say, that's why, like, me, I wouldn't say, like, I've necessarily adapted to racism, but to me, like, racism, it doesn't leave any marks on me. It leaves, like, no, like, not trying to crack some jokes, but it just leaves, like, some, like, just a little bit of ash. Like, that's about it. Something I could just get some Vaseline lotion, rub it down, it's gone. So, but it ain't gonna leave, like, no cuts, no wounds, something that's gonna, I had to say one time it did, but it was, yeah, I'll explain to you guys, like, that one time it did. But, it's something that's, like, as I got older and realized the whole situation, I was like, oh, well, then that makes sense and stuff. But, yeah, yeah, it's like, it's just racism doesn't really get to me. So it's like, I guess if you, like, learn about it and understand it and then just know, like, you know, overall, like, the things that people are like, something like that, then yeah, I'd definitely be like, time out, pause. Like, that, nah, like, you're gonna have to do something else. But he didn't know, like, but I definitely would talk to him about that and stuff. Like, what's the problem? Like, you got, like, you trying to lure me into some trap, like, kill a bunch of white people or something? Because I'm like, then we just gonna have to end this and things and carry a knife or a gun with you, go do some Tomb Raider stuff on him. But anyways, but I guess it bothers me for the fantasy. Okay, I read that. So this happened yesterday and still yesterday, and things still feel strained between us. I know he feels awful about, and I've said it's fine, but I don't really know how I feel or if I'm taking it way too seriously. And it was just a harmless role-playing thing, since this is the healthiest, most loving relationship I've been in. I know we have a conversation about it, obviously, but I'm trying to let my thoughts settle down for a minute. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't. I'm gonna write something for her and things. I wouldn't take it seriously, like you said, it was role playing, and also he didn't how I misspelled didn't. He didn't discuss discuss has one S or three S's, not four, but he didn't discuss it with you, so therefore he didn't really know how it was going to go down. But I will tell he obviously knows like not to ever do that, but just in case I will tell him not to say things like that anymore. But understand that racist remarks are silly and you shouldn't take them seriously. Should I leave it at that? I feel like I should say more. I don't know. I feel like I should say more. It's like, yeah, and it's like, also, you guys seem to have a good relationship, so therefore, you have nothing to worry about unless he does this stuff again. Hopefully, you guys can laugh about this in the future. Period. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and comment that. So, but anyways, that will be it for today's episode. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on a podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. And if you're purchasing tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss, and it will knock $20 off your first purchase. So, that being said, talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching and or listening, and peace.